Hi, I'm JM Hollis and I write sometimes. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm coming at you today from a different angle. I thought that it would be nice to sit in front of my bookshelves, and I think that this will probably be where I film going forward, like the sitting talking head videos, instead of my desk, just because I like the background better. But I wanted to make a video today because I crashed out again. And as you can see from the title of this video, I am starting my work in progress over. Now, that's not entirely true. There's still a lot of it that I can keep. But I started to doubt my story and doubt me, and thought that it was just all convoluted and stupid and nobody was going to read it and it's trash and I don't know what I'm doing and all this stuff. Spiraled, basically. And I was like, there are elements that don't make sense that need to make sense. But to make them make sense, I need to change how Charlotte gets the rescue, and that's going to change so many other things that I've already written. So, starting over, kind of. I rewrote chapter 1 this morning. It took me like 2 hours. I kept the majority of it, but I like reworked some of it. And I'm actually like pretty happy with where it's at, to be honest, which kind of makes me mad. If that makes sense, because it's like, if I had rewrote it and it was worse, at least like I'd feel vindicated in a way that like I shouldn't have to rewrite this. But no, it's actually better for it. And so I will be rewriting the rest of the book. Probably keeping a lot of it, but reworking as I go through, because I made a new Scrivener document or file. And I typed up chapter 1. I had the old version right here and Scrivener right here, and I typed through the old version onto Scrivener. So I will probably be doing that for the other chapters. And I guess the saving grace is that like I didn't get Act 1 done. Like it pains me that I haven't gotten so much writing done, because I want to be writing, but life is just lifing, and it's really hard to find the time and the motivation and the inspiration, especially when I was feeling so lost and stuck. So maybe the rewrite will cause the words to flow a little bit better. I don't know. I'm trying to look at the positives. The first chapter is like a little over 2.6K. So, and I've written, I want to say like 47K total, from completed chapters to chapters in progress and so on. So rewriting is like another 45,000 words that I've got to rewrite. But like I said, I think I can keep a good chunk of it. Like technically, I don't have to rewrite Nolan's chapters, because I might have to fix one of them, but like everything that I'm changing involves Charlotte. So I don't have to technically rewrite his chapters, but if I'm already rewriting hers and like having to start from the beginning and rewrite hers, I might as well go through and rewrite his, and just make it another draft. The number of drafts that this damn book has been through, like, if you could see my computer with all the different drafts, like, It's technically a first draft, but in reality, that first chapter I have drafted, I think this will be the fourth or fifth time that I've drafted that chapter. I've drafted the second chapter 3 times, and like some of the other chapters I've drafted at least twice. So it's not wholeheartedly a first draft. In some aspects, it's like a Frankenstein creation of a draft, whatever that means. And so I'm hoping that I won't have to go back and redraft again until the whole story is done, and even then not like redraft, but like just revise and edit. So what is different between old draft that like was kind of a cluster, and new version that is can't really be considered a cluster because it's one chapter so far. Basically, so the original premise was that Charlotte's grandmother died and left her money, and Charlotte used the money to purchase this building out by Kyle Canyon in Tool Springs. If you're from Vegas or you've been to Vegas, you might be familiar with the area. If you ventured away from the Strip, it's like on the way to Mount Charleston. So that's where I envision this building to be. So it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But like it's an older building, and she converts it with the money that she's been given into a dog rescue, dog rehabilitation, whatever you want to call it. And as I was crashing out this morning, I was like, does that even make sense? Like a 26-year-old like is running all of this, and like where's like the grandma couldn't have left her that much money. Like, I mean, I guess she could have. Like I could make her grandma loaded if I wanted to. It's my story, but it didn't feel right that she's like left a whole bunch of money. So in this new version, I am basically changing it to where the grandmother started the rescue and left everything to Charlotte when she passed, along with a sum of money to help her like continue running things. But I think that will give her some credibility to how she's 26 and has this thing. Also gives me an ability to talk about the old ways that grandma was doing things versus what works now, and giving her some credibility that she like worked there before and worked with the dogs and things like that. Because one of the things that I was crashing out about was like, this rescue is struggling, but like, have they ever like actually rehomed a dog? Because I like, until later in the story, like a dog doesn't get adopted until the adoption event, and then Charlotte kind of like has a breakdown because she's gonna miss him. So, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me the more I thought about it, that like without them having been established a little bit, for them to be taking in dogs, overflow dogs from the shelter. I mean, probably could. I don't, fault on me that I don't honestly know how the rescuing part works in terms of like taking the overflow from the animal shelter, because I know that some rescues do that, and also that the Animal Foundation fosters out when they are overflowing, which they frequently are. So, but I would assume that they would be looking for more established rescues And so it makes sense. But so I did a tarot reading. I think that's where I was going with this, and then I lost my train of thought and I paused a bunch of times. You won't see any of that, but anyway, I did this tarot reading asking about, like, is this rewrite the right thing? And I got it's blades for me because of the deck that I have, but it's swords. And so I got the Ten of Swords reversed, which is basically like rip the Band-Aid off and renewal and hope and change, and it's change in a positive direction. So even my cards were like, you need to rewrite this book. So that is what I am doing. So I'll take you on that journey as I rewrite the book. But to say I feel overwhelmed is a little bit of an understatement. I felt overwhelmed before when I thought about that I had to write 50,000 more words. But even more so, I feel overwhelmed. But I'm trying to tell myself, like, it's not a race. It's not about finishing this book so that way I can publish it. Like, it's about finishing the book to tell the story that I want to tell. And if that means rewriting, it means rewriting. And I want this story to be the very best that it can be, not only so that way other people like it, but so that I can fulfill the wish that I have for this book and do it justice and give it what it deserves. Because I do think that it's a really important story that should be told from both Nolan and Charlotte's sides, with Charlotte dealing with body acceptance and trying to fit in a world that doesn't want her to. And then Nolan dealing with past trauma and the self-destruction spiral and having to work your way out of it. So I think it's a really important story. I think that it's one that people could really like, hopefully. So I just want to do the best that I can, and if that means rewriting, it means rewriting. But I'm gonna do a thing that I might regret, because I'm in a sensitive spot right now. But I will leave the first chapter linked in the description box. Like, I'll put it on like a Google Drive, a Google Doc, and I will leave it down in the description box. And if you want to check it out, you can, and you can leave a comment on the video about the chapter, what you think about it. But I do want to share the updated version and just get people's thoughts and feedback, because I really don't want to have to rewrite it again. I know that I'm going to have to revise and edit, but like, I really don't want to have to do a full rewrite. You can comment down below in the comment section what you think of it. That'll be better, because then, yeah. So I will be brave and leave it, because I do want to get feedback, and part of me, if I'm being honest, wants validation that it is okay and that it's good and that I can actually write, because I've been feeling a lot lately that like the imposter syndrome and like I can't actually write, I'm not a good writer. And so I guess part of me is seeking that validation too, and I guess I can be honest about that. But yeah, that's where we're at, rewriting my whole story and trying to make Outnumbered. I keep wanting to call it Project Renegade, but I want to call it by its title. Try to make Outnumbered the best that it can possibly be. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a great day. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. And even if you don't read chapter 1, leave a comment down below talking about how you deal with the imposter syndrome, like when doubt sets in and when you start having that spiral. Like, what do you do to get yourself out of it or to remedy the situation? Like, do you have a come to Jesus meeting with yourself, or like, what do you do? So let me know that down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.